control the tip. This is Fowler. He'll have the ball in his hands a whole lot. Number 15.
And for Fowler, it's so important to this basketball team, not just because he's a scorer, but because he sets everybody else up. His ability to penetrate leaves open shooters on the perimeter. That's why they were so good last year, knocking down threes.
Shot clock at 4. Rayshawn with the miss. Tipped up once, tipped up twice. Out of bounds. And it will stay with the Chippewas. Braylon Rayson, a junior out of Dallas. This is a small team. He's 5'9", Simmons 6'4", Fowler 6'1". You get Meyer in there at 6'11", and Simons at 6'8". These Chippewas have made 29 three-pointers in the last 2 games.
They've all of a sudden got things going. In their last game, they made 14 threes, 56% from behind the three-point line in their last game. So that's what BYU's got to be aware of. They have to understand who to help off of.
Charging into the lane, a wild shot by Rayson, gets his own rebound. Shot clock didn't reset. Here's Fowler for 3. Collinsworth with his first rebound of the night. Davis telling us at practice today, his team has to shoot really well from the outside tonight. Already 0 for 4. Collinsworth's first shot is true. And the senior out of Provo
takes it off the quick dribble and then just squared up perfectly right in front of us. So we were watching right down the barrel. That was a perfect shot with a great release.
104 starts for Collinsworth. Tied for 13th most starts in BYU history. He has been around for a long time and quite a contributor. Both he and Fowler climbing the record books for both these teams. Another miss from the outside. That one from Simons.
Well, that was a rebound out of his area for Kaufusi. He went and tracked that one down. So athletic.
Davis double teamed. Kaufusi. Foul going up. He'll go to the free throw line. Our score bug is brought to you by Brady Industries, a provider of commercial cleaning supplies and equipment. Brady Industries, clean solutions, a tradition for generations. And I can tell you, all the Bradys will be at Sam Boyd Stadium in their blue shirts tomorrow.
They will.
First foul on Luke Meyer.
The first foul called the game. Officiating crew: Vern Harris, Keith Kimball, and Larry Spalding. Very, very veteran, good officiating crew here on a Friday night in Provo.
We met Luke Meyer's parents just a moment ago. They came in from Michigan, never been to Utah, and staring at these snow-capped mountains in awe. And they'll get out of here before the next storm comes in.
And I was in awe of how much snow was in my front yard when I came back from Albuquerque yesterday. My heavens, 2 feet of snow in my yard. Are you kidding me?
Vegas will be 60 degrees and sunny tomorrow. Fowler driving to the lane. Gets the bounce. And the first bucket for Central Michigan.
In his 2 games back, not only has he been scoring 17 a game, but averaging 5 assists.
Davis.
Good heads-up play. Emery got off of his feet. It was kind of lost in the air. Davis cut to the basket with his peripheral vision. He's able to get it there for the easy dunk. Great adjustment by Emery.
Davis is quickly becoming Mr. Double-double at BYU. 10 points, 11 rebounds last week in Colorado. You got a triple-double and a double-double guy.
As you watch the Central Michigan team, they're going to remind you a lot of St. Mary's and the offense that they run. They use a lot of ball screens. They screen off the ball. And you've really got to communicate as a defense.
Shot clock violation. During the timeout, he's the second leading scorer on the Chippewas. This could be a huge loss.
And he has been shooting lights out over the last 3 games. He's been 56% from behind that three-point line. He has 23 made threes this season. That's number 2 in the Mid-American Conference. So this is a guy they need. You know, you hope they can get it back there, get it loosened up, get it retaped, and get him out here because they will need Braylon Rayson as part of that offensive armament.
4 points for Davis. Lauren Franken.
Coach Rose told me that for this team, the first 4 or 5 free throws they shoot will be really important. If they make them, you'll see the confidence carry throughout the game. And if they struggle early, you'll need to get someone on the line consistently who can get them back on track. It all comes down to confidence with this team, and the makes are contagious. Dave.
Lauren, thanks. BYU ball out of bounds. Chippewas got back and knocked it away from Chase Fisher. 5-point Cougar lead.
So we see Central Michigan now drop back into a 2-3 zone.
Fisher for three. That ends a drought of 10 straight misses from distance for Chase Fisher.
And as you watch him this year, when he's going straight up, the ball's on line. And sometimes a little long, a little short, but it's on line. He's shot his shots on the threes a lot this year. He's drifted left or right, and then he's just off. Got to focus on going straight up.
Good defense by BYU. Shot clock's at 8. 7-0 Cougar run. Simmons. Fowler up over Collins. Oh boy, he had to go high to get that off. As a result, his shot was off, and the ball touched off of Scott. It'll be BYU basketball.
So you see Kyle Davis with a cross-court pass. And see how he's squared up on the line. He goes straight up with the basketball and knocks it down.
Nate Austin checks in. Corbin Kafusi checks out. And we expect to see a lot of Zach Sellius tonight. He had 18 points on the road at Colorado. Another freshman for Dave Rose. Still waiting to get his entry into the game as Fisher drives in, has his shot blocked wild into the lane, and then the Cougars foul Luke Meyer on the rebound.
A good help defense that time by Luke Meyer, the 6'11 sophomore out of Addison, Michigan. He started every single game in his entire career. 42 games, just a sophomore, but has never missed a start.
Davis picks up his first foul. BYU by 8. So far, BYU's defense has given Dave Rose just what he was hoping for. Shot clock's at 7. Simmons. Tap to Davis. Now Emery will roller into the lane. Simmons on the rebound. Back we go. Chippewas. Simmons draws some contact with Emery, and Emery picks up his first. We thought maybe we would have a three-point shooting festival here tonight. CMU at some point last year renamed themselves 3MU as they made 322 threes.
And they do it as well as anybody in the country, but you know, they're maybe a little underrated with their ability to get to the rim as well. If you guard them too aggressively, they'll take the ball to the hoop.
They're 1 for 6 shooting threes so far tonight. Emery right off the glass, and Emery's got 4.
And Braylon Rayson came out of the locker room. Looked like that limp was a little bit less. I'm certain they retaped that thing, and now he's sitting at the scorer's table ready to come back in. So that's good news for the Chippewas.
Can't be soon enough for Keno Davis. Long three from way outside. A sweet stroke from Kaczynski.
His shot. I watched him on tape, and it's just as pretty in person as it is on tape. Just a beautiful slow back rotation on that basketball. He has got such a pure shot.
Collinsworth. Into Austin. Emery for 3 off the front end. Scramble for it. Carried out of bounds. Off of Central Michigan. Better. And 23 at Colorado. Last time here against Belmont was his big day at 27. Davis looking for Austin. And Nate's going to go to the free throw line. Good position for Austin. And Austin Stewart out of Normal, Illinois at 6'6", was overmatched and picks up his first foul. 6'11" against 6'6".
Yeah, that's where BYU is going to have a big advantage in this ball game. If they're patient and make sure they get post touches. I mean, those outside shots will come, but they got a big size advantage inside. They've got numbers of big people that they can put in there that are strong offensively inside, and the Chippewas will have a hard time matching up in there.
Austin 1 of 5 from the free throw line, 2 of 6 in the year. BYU has been awful from the free throw line, 62%. You stack them up with all the other teams, that puts them at number 317.
Yeah, that's not. Anytime you're in the 300s, I don't think that's good. Am I wrong?
That's the worst in the Dave Rose era. Nowhere to go but up. Deep in the corner. Good looking 3-point shot from John Simons. His 21st on the year. And his first basket tonight.
Last year, he hit 91 threes, averaged 12.3 points a game, so scoring's down just a little bit, averaging 10 points a game. this season.
Seems like they all shoot threes.
Yeah, everyone. You have to shoot threes or they won't recruit you.
Collinsworth up for 2. Kyle now with 4. We saw Zach Sellius check in a moment ago, so he's on the floor tonight.
BYU continues to overpower the Chippewas inside, and the Chippewas staying in it. You know, it's just a 7-point deficit by knocking down these threes that they've made last couple of times down the floor.
Tough assignment for Fowler. He's so important in so many things, and Kyle Collinsworth is defending him. Right here on BYU TV. 18-11, Cougars leading the Chippewas as we near the midway mark of this first half. Simmons, this is Rayshawn. See how he moves with that foot retaped. Over to Simmons, shot clock under 10. Fowler again, swooping into the lane. Wild left hand, but a beautiful shot. Fowler now with 4.
And Fowler 2 for 4. I'll tell you, those 2 buckets are well earned. Kyle Collinsworth has done a great job defensively on Fowler so far this ballgame and made things difficult.
That ball climbed out of the basket. Offering from Fisher. Another 3 goes straight in for Simons.
These guys can just shoot it. So Simons came into this game with 56 free attempts. So he's attempted 56. Kaczynski's attempted 69, and Rayson's attempted 59.
Collinsworth doesn't shoot too many. Off the front end, Chippewas on the run. It's a 2-point game. Hot hand is right here. And they'll hand it over to Rayson. Look at the way they're situate their offense. Everyone's out in the 3-point line.
Talk about, hey, 4 out, 1 in. No, this is a 5 out.
Offensive foul right there. You saw Stewart kind of lower his shoulder. And the Chippewas turn it over. It's an 11-3 Central Michigan run.
A good position that time. That'll be the 3rd turnover for Central Michigan. And how about BYU? Turnovers have been a bit of a problem this season, more than Dave Rose would like. On the season, they're averaging 14 turnovers a game. He'd like that to be more like 11, 12. No turnovers for the Cougars so far this ball game.
Second foul on Stewart. Now it's Davis with the elbow and the offensive foul. And the Cougars turn it back over. That's the second foul on Davis.
So watch Davis. Watch him take that right elbow, and he's going to reach it. He's going to reach it around and see how he hooks the offense or the defensive player.
You can't do that.
No, can't do it. He hooked him. And with that elbow, and it was a good call by the official outside.
Chippewas can take the lead with a 3. Davis goes to the bench, and Jake Toulson checks in for the first time.
Watch Jake Toulson warm up today, Dave. I watched him make at least 40 jump shots from outside the circle and miss 1. I think he was 39 for 40 when I was watching.
Good shooter.
It reminded me of watching Jimmer Fredette warm up some games. I watched Jimmer Fredette one time. I watched him make 29 straight threes and warm-ups, and I stopped watching. I just got bored.
Simmons. Things get a little testy out there on the floor. Sellius for 3.
Well, Sellius, I'll tell you what, he's another young player that's played beyond his years as just a freshman, the 6'7", Bountiful native, 4A MVP, Gatorade Player of the Year. He had 82 threes his senior year, and he has just picked up where he left off. He's been shooting the ball very well.
Fowler in the lane. Swatted and fouled by Collinsworth. It'll be the first on Collinsworth. Sellius hit 4 threes on the road at Colorado. And talking with Dave Rose, he said, how are you as a player? And he goes, well, I'd kind of like to be described as the way Zach Sellius plays.
Yeah, he did. Hey, I'll tell you what. If Zach can be as good as Dave Rose was on that good a team, because Dave Rose was a big-time leader on that team, and that was one of the best teams in the history of college basketball.
Talking about the Houston Cougars when they were ranked #1 in the country and played for the national championship, got beat by North Carolina State. Cougars are playing defense tonight. Fisher after the steal. And some sloppy play. Saved by Toulson, grabs the fumble, calls it score.
And what I like is he hasn't forced shots here as a freshman. When he's open, he's not afraid to shoot it, but he doesn't force shots up. Very unselfish player. But, man, can he stroke it.
Here's Redmond, ball off of him. Cougars have it. Back up by 8. And playing with a little more zip. Emery will pop a three. Too strong. Simmons running with it with the Chippewas. Going all the way in, challenging the long arms of Toolson. And he's got his first basket.
Right, he was going 1-on-4 that time, determined to get the bucket, and was able to muscle it up that time.
Collinsworth into the lane, draws a couple, hands it back out to Fisher. Fisher for three. A lot of standing around on that possession for BYU.
Yeah, and not good spacing that time. Sellius and Fisher close together, and then they dribbled into that three.
Fowler trying to get contact, not rewarded by the officiating crew. They're letting him bang just a bit as Emery takes it in. 6 points for the darting Emery, slashing to the basket.
Emery, I think they just wind him up when the game starts, and he just goes full tilt the whole time till the game's over, and he's got enough juice to keep going. But he is on attack every minute of every ball game.
Simon's getting a lot of attention now. They'll try Fowler top of the key. Stolen away by Sellius. 1-on-2. Looks for some help. And BYU and the preseason pick to repeat at 5-4 on the year, 5-0 at home. And they'll be home against Howard next week, just before Christmas. Three ball open, but off the mark for Kaczynski. Now the Cougars are running. Sellius another three. This one off the front end.
So Sellius now 7 of his last 12 from behind that three-point line. That's still a pretty good clip, even with that miss.
Now it's Fowler. Redmond back to Fowler as he looks at the Cougar defense. Lauren Franken, what do you have?
During that timeout, Tim Lacombe came up to Kyle Collinsworth and said he's doing a great job one-on-one with Chris Fowler. So before the game, they did say Kyle Collinsworth is in charge of Chris Fowler for this game. Dave.
Thanks, Lauren.
Yeah,
Corey
great.
Redmond on the three.
Great point, Lawrence, because one-on-one is the key.
Toolson for three.
Oh, man, that's exactly where I stood and watched him shoot.
Yep.
And it just went net, 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 over and over again. And then I gave him a little hassle, needed two. He says, hey, this is boring. Why don't you miss one? He didn't listen.
This floor is full of three-point shooters for the most part.
Back to Lauren's point. If you can defend Fowler one-on-one and not force your teammates to help, you don't leave open shooters like that. The help defense came back in the paint because of penetration. You can't leave Kaczynski open in the corner. You got to stay on him. Don't help off that guy. He's too good.
Toolson to answer back. Kaczynski has hit 3 threes. It's a 5-point game. Here's a long bomb. Right down by Simons.
Shooting basketball team. The Chippewas, they get hot knocking down threes. Oh, man, it can be a long night.
Cougars pounded down low to answer back. Collinsworth outside. Emery for three. Emery with 9. And a big answer. Lead back to 5.
When BYU plays inside out like that, Collinsworth with the ball in the paint, he's forcing the defense to collapse, and then Emery gets a great look right down the pipe.
Kaczynski with it. He's shown that he's right there at Jimmer range with a couple of threes he's hit. Now deep in the corner. Simmons kicks up. Kaczynski, another three.
Did they not listen to what I just said?
Not a word.
Not one word. Don't leave 12. He's too good. And Central Michigan saying, oh, no, leave
Emery to answer, yes. It's like two middleweights exchanging blows.
And so let me tell Central Michigan something. Don't leave 4. You can't leave him.
Listen,
either.
somebody's going to be open.
Can't leave 4, can't leave 15. I think I'd take my chances defending one-on-one, and I'd be not quite so aggressive to help defensively.
Fowler challenges Kafusi. Can't finish the shot, but gets fouled. But the game coming up for Central Michigan, they've made 4 straight three-point shots. They're shooting better from 3 than they are from the field, which is not a surprise, as Fowler knocks down the first. He's at 76% on the season. Missed those first 7 games, so he hasn't been there a lot. That's just his 11th free throw on this season in his 97th start overall.
This is a guy that had never missed a start in his career until the first 7 of this season. And that put this team off kilter a little bit. They're now just getting used to playing with him again. But I'm telling you, this team, 5 returning starters from the conference championship team last year.
Collinsworth getting a little fancy. Here comes Sellius to finish it. Tipped up by Collinsworth. Brought down by the Chippewas. Luke Meyer.
Right now, the Chippewas are 8 of 16 from three-point land. They get a 2 here on the drive by Simmons.
Rayshawn Simmons, a senior out of St. Louis, one of the 4-year starters for Keno Davis. Lob for Kafusi. He's sure been quiet, despite being the lone giant on the floor. Forces the shot. It's tipped out of bounds off of Central Michigan. And it'll be BYU basketball.
It was Simons battling with Meyer and 2 teammates going after it. Good defense here. Well played that time by Luke Meyer. And then they just couldn't get the handle. John Simons kind of throws it right off of Luke Meyer.
Bad pass by Collinsworth from the steal. Open look for 3. Rims out. And then it goes right in.
How about that fire? That follow by Luke Meyer. That was beautiful.
6'11" and showing what he can do. Collinsworth to answer back. Gets fouled as we're tied at 35. Take a look at that last one. Then a wide open look by Simons. It came off, and then it went right in.
You love when you're big guys. So Myers, a 6'11" guy, he can step out and knock down threes, runs the floor well. You love when your big guys will run the floor and not give up just because a guard has it out in front. That's the reward. Once in a while they miss, and you get an easy throw down.
Free throw's good by Collinsworth. Second foul on Meyer. Austin's in, and a winded Sellius goes out, runs past us, and heads to the bench. BYU has led this entire half. Kafusi pulls down the rebound and a reach-in foul. And that'll go against Kaczynski. And 1-1 now coming up for Kafusi.
Kafusi this year, 8 of 18 from the free throw line. That's 44%.
That's not good. That one had no chance.
And the thing about BYU, Davis and Kafusi are beasts inside. They're terrible matchups for teams, so they're going to get fouled. And both have just struggled to convert from the free throw line. That hurts BYU offensively.
Chippewas looking for their first lead from way outside, and Simons is good again.
That was a heat check by Simons. He made one from in there the last time down, about 4 feet further in than that. He's like, let's just see how I am from like 27 feet. He was good.
He was good. Fisher to answer from the corner. Back and forth we go. BYU back by 1. Under 2 minutes to play here in the half. Simmons all the way in, and the foul as Austin was out of position and on the move. And a chance at a three-point play for Rayshawn Simmons.
So take a look, just a quick pass, early offense. This Central Michigan team, they love to get threes in transition or in early offense. And here's Fisher. He's going to give up the ball. And then see, Collinsworth takes the defense with him, draws him, and then kicks it back out to Chase Fisher for the open 3.
Simmons at the free throw line. 1-point lead for the Chippewas. Now 2, their largest.
Simmons 77%, or Simmons 66% from that free throw line. Very solid.
He's got 7. Fisher, another 3. Fight for the rebound. Collinsworth to Fisher. And we're tied.
Put that one on a highlight reel.
Wow.
No look over the shoulder. I don't know what that was, but it worked.
Get some noise out of this crowd. Tied up at 41.
This game just got fun. This could be 90-90 by the time this thing is over.
Someone's got to figure out how to guard Simons and Kaczynski for sure. Here's Fowler sizing up Collinsworth. Austin backs off of him. He misses the open 3. Simmons on the rebound and a fresh 30 on the shot clock.
And Fowler's not their big three-point shooter. He's at his best when he's penetrating and creating for his teammates, getting to the free throw line and finishing at the rim.
Now it's Fowler again. Trying to shake Collinsworth. Collinsworth knocks it away. Toulson on the run. Fisher for 3. 11 for Fisher. This is getting good.
Hey, a very entertaining basketball game broke out about 6 or 7 minutes ago.
Deep in the corner, another three, and that one goes for Rayshawn. And we are all tied up with the shot clock off. We'll hear from Dave Rose in a moment. Get his assessment on what's become a shootout. Fisher has scored BYU's last 8 points. Lazy pass by Austin. Fisher regroups to Austin. Collinsworth to beat the buzzer. At halftime at the